Alright guys, this is the first spring startup and I think I have battery trouble. Let's see. Yeah. So I've been having a lot of problem starting this. I've had to jump it quite a few times, and actually last spring I was riding out in the woods and I actually had to come back because I was way out and it quit on me. So it wouldn't start back up. So what I got for my Christmas present was a new battery, and it was a lithium ion battery. It doesn't have any battery acid in it. So I'm gonna jump this with my new battery starter jump pack, and I also got a battery shutoff switch which will cut all power off, so that way I can make sure that nothing's drawing the battery down. And this plugs in. We already got this out in the open here, so. The DeWalt jump pack I'm using here was one of the most highly rated affordable mini jump packs I saw, and it's 1500 amp rating. It says it can start V8 engines, and it has a flashlight, USB, and other accessories. I think the battery might be frozen, guys. Alright, I gave it a few minutes. Let's see if it'll start up now. You just gotta give it a little bit, but it's a small little unit, and you can use it as a little power bank and charge your phone while you're trail riding. Alright, I'm unboxing the new battery here. This is supposed to be one of the best batteries. Insane performance. NOCO Lithium battery, 12 volt. And these, I guess, are just extensions. So this is the actual, so look how small that little guy is, but I guess these are extensions. So that'll fit right down in there. So I gotta work on my battery shutoff switch now. With the key off, the old battery is just under 12 volts, 11.93 with the key on. It's right around 11 volts. So you want a good battery is with the key off should be around 12.6 volts. So I think it's partially to do with the battery, and it's partially due to like a draw on the system. But that's what I want to install this battery disconnect switch for. And I think I found a good spot back in here. There's like the perfect size of this, and it'll sit right in this little box right here, and it doesn't interfere with the seat. So I think I'm gonna run all the wires back to that and run a jumper back to the battery and hook up all my positives to the battery. I got power back here too. This is live. The solenoid. And then I'm gonna take this old battery out and put this new one in. It's fancy. It came with an Allen key. You can take these out, and you can side wire it, and then you got a top screw as well. It's pretty fancy. It wasn't that cheap, so this battery ought to last a long time. And so yeah, so I'm gonna take this old battery out and start wiring for the battery disconnect. Alright, so I got the battery out, but I'm gonna see these wires that lead to the winch are zip ties on. I want to see if they can reach all the way back there, and if so, that's a good thing. And then I'm gonna have to replace the heads on all these, like I mentioned before. I put the battery in, and there's a lot of room up above. I might put an extension on it. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna see how these wires work. Alright, I just torched this cable here and took off this factory end. This was the battery cable. And what I want to do is put a union on this because I need about an extra 6 to 8 inches to reach to my battery disconnect. We found this wire, multi-strand copper, and it looks to be about the same gauge as what was there before. So this is what I'm going to use, and we got unions, and I'm going to attach this to give me the extra length I need to go to my battery disconnect. To extend this, I put a copper crimp on, squished it down on both wires, then came along with solder and soldered both ends so we have a nice secure connection. Then I'm going to come over top with a piece of heat shrink, and that'll encase it. I did another solder over here, and then I got my wire crimp and I put that on. This is going to go like so over my battery disconnect. I put a piece of wire loom on it and taped it with electrical tape. So that looks pretty nice. We got a nice connection there. And now I'm going to come across my heat shrink. Get it nice and tight like so, and that looks great. So we got two nice connections here, and now my wire is long enough to go to my battery disconnect. So I just made an extension cable, and this is going to go from my battery disconnect all the way up to the negative terminal on the battery. So I'm pretty new to soldering, but I know a crimp and solder is a lot stronger than just a crimp connection. So that's what I did. Here's my battery disconnect. As you can see, the arrow's pointing away from the battery, means off. On is towards the battery, so I'll know. It'll sit down in here like so. So I did this off camera because it was a little bit of a pain, but I got my two negatives running to this lug, and then I got my jumper going to the battery up here running on this lug. So when I turn it off, it'll disconnect all my power. So here's how the sidewalls go on. They slide down in this little groove, like so. Now I'm going to put my top plate on, or bottom plate, and then these screws are Allen key, and God, I'm going the wrong way here. So this is how it goes. So the head is flush. I had it the wrong way before, and see how far they stick down? They come with little lock nuts. I don't know if you can see them, but I'll put them on and I'll grind it so they don't poke down. What I learned is that if you put your nut on first before you grind, when you take your nut off, it'll fix the thread. So we're going to cut this off at that portion right there. Now I'm going to put my lithium ion battery in, and I'm going to hook it up and test it and see if it works proper. Alright, time to do the check on the old battery here. The other one was what, like 12? And this one, if we try it, let's see, we got 13 too. So this is way better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all my wiring nice and neat, and I'm going to hook up both the positive and negative terminals. Alright, check it out. It's all hooked up. I had a little trouble with this positive terminal because we had a short screw and there were so many to hook up. But we got it hooked up. I opted for taking the spacer out so that way the battery cables weren't as bent and they flow nice into the battery at this height. So we're going to test it out. So if I have it pointed this way, it should be off. So when I turn my key on, there should be nothing, which there's not. And then, so now we're going to try it. Turn it on. Turn the key on. Hey! Alright, the big test. See if this new battery works. Try to start it up here. Ready? Hey! Awesome! Look at that! Alright, now we're going to test it. Hold on. There we go. 13.7. Look at it. It keeps creeping up. It's charging. Look at that. That's a strong, powerful battery. So, I know that the battery disconnect switch is hooked up right. So I just tried it. And the battery works. So I shouldn't have to jump start it. So, that was a big project done. And so now I'll probably just clean this up a little bit, put some zip ties and stuff, and fix this wiring across here. Alright, so what I did is I came through and I neatened it up. So I got it coming out here, put a zip tied all these all the way up to the battery. Got all my wires and everything nice and snug. And I ended up putting the spacer underneath because actually I tried it and it did wiggle before. Now there's no movement. So that battery ain't going anywhere. Everything's nice and snug and it's away. So when I put the seat cover on, it won't interfere. So now it's time to clean up all my tools, put the seat on, and let's go riding.